Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markel. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markel.
Okay, it's time for another Morning Mindset. I am still your host, Paul Markel, and today we're going to talk about having some fun. Yes, indeed we are. I've been involved in some very serious professions in my life. I've been a police officer. I started my military career as a United States Marine in the Marine Corps Infantry and the Security Forces Battalion, and I've done all that stuff. I've been a professional bodyguard, which is obviously a serious task or job. I've done a lot of serious stuff in my life. And if you are serious all the time, that you can get burned out pretty quickly. It doesn't take very long for you to get mentally burned out or mentally stressed out if you are always serious. And you say, well, you know, warfare and law enforcement and keeping bad people from hurting good people, it's a very serious task. It's a very serious undertaking. It is. It absolutely is. And there's time for fun and there's time for silliness. And then there's also time for seriousness, to be very serious. If you've ever spent any time around infantrymen, Marines, soldiers, what have you, people who are involved in warfare, or if you've ever spent any time around street cops, you know that most of those people that I just described have a very sick and twisted and odd sense of humor. Sometimes they're accused of having gallows humor. And the reason that they do that is if you were to listen to a psychologist or psychiatrist, it'd say that gallows humor is a mental defense mechanism to keep them from actually breaking down and losing it after dealing with all of the serious things that they have to deal with in their lives. But let's say you aren't involved in any of those things. You're just a regular dude or a regular woman, and you have a normal job. But your normal job has become very tedious to you. It's everything becomes a job. We talked about this. We talked about this last week. We talked about how people think that, oh man, I'd love to do blank. If I could do blank as a job, I would be happy all the time. It would be great. You are so lucky to have that job, or that person is so lucky to have that job because it would be so fun and exciting and cool and interesting. But eventually everything becomes a job. And everything eventually can become very formulaic and tedious. If you're looking for a way to break up the routine, if you're looking for a way to break up the tedium of whatever it is you happen to be doing, maybe it's time to have some fun. And I'm not talking about being a clown or being a goof, but every once in a while you just need to do something fun. Now, from my own personal standpoint, I have to, or I'm tasked with, creating content on a daily, weekly basis. My job is to create content, whether it's a video content or audio content or the written word or what have you. And I have a formula and I have a routine and I know what I'm supposed to do. And right now, or recently, I guess I should say, I found myself not being very inspired. And everybody goes through this. Every writer, every person who's involved in creating content of some sort goes through this kind of a burnout phase. Like I don't feel like this, and I don't want to do it anymore. And it's not that I'm going to quit and not do it anymore, but I feel like I've gotten into a routine, a tedious routine with the content creation. And what I've done for myself recently is I've come up with some fun projects, some kind of maybe a little bit silly, a little bit unusual, but just fun. And you're like, and I haven't released them yet. I'm still working on them. But the process of creating these fun projects has actually invigorated me. It's made me look forward to the process again, because I was at a point where I was creating content because I had to, and it was something that was expected of me, but I wasn't really enjoying it so much. And I realized recently that I needed to do something fun. Not necessarily super serious, not at all super serious, something that would be entertaining, but that I wanted to do because I just thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be interesting. And that process, deciding, you know what, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. Doesn't always have to be 100% straight down the line, by the book, the formula. How many of you have a job, and in your job you have the specific SOP? You have the formula. This is how we do this. And we don't deviate from it. We do A, B, C, D, hit send, we're finished, and move on again. And that's how we get things done. And a lot of people say, well, that's how you're productive. You have to have a plan. You have to have a formula. And you do that formula, and you are productive. But productive is not always creative, is it? And creative is not always productive. And if we can marry those two, if we can marry being productive and being creative together at the same time, then maybe we'll have something special. Maybe we'll have something super positive to offer to ourselves and to others. So I'm not telling you have to be a clown. I'm not telling you have to be a goof. Some people have a really hard time having fun or relaxing. Some people have too much time on their hands to screw around, and other people get annoyed with them because it seems like all they want to do is screw around and have fun. And it's a balancing act, right? But I'm going to tell you this: if you find yourself right now in a position with your career or with your work, now if you're a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon, I don't want you screwing around. Stick to the formula, okay? But if you find yourself in a position where your current job, your current task list has become very tedious, very routine, maybe you've lost the fire or the passion that you once had to do that job, take the time to just have a little bit of fun. And, maybe you'll be the only one having fun. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. If you're the only one that is having fun, it's okay, because it's you who needs to be creative, and it's you who needs to be productive. And if you can put those two together, if you can put productivity and creativity together, then you've really got something. And every once in a while, you need to break the routine. You need to spice things up, and you need to have a little bit of fun. And that's what I'm doing right now. I've got a couple of projects that I'm working on, that I'm putting together, that I'm hashing out in my brain, and it's just for fun. And I'm really looking forward to doing it. And actually, the process of doing it has made me feel a little bit more creative and excited about what I need to do. So that is my advice to you. Little look behind the curtain there. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for making Morning Mindset a part of your daily routine. I am your host, Paul Markel. I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markel, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.